All right, good morning, good morning. How we doing? How we feeling? Man, I just realized I left that light on back there. It's all good. It's got an extra light on today. Hold on, let me turn that off. All right, there we go. That's better. As you can probably see, it's been an eventful morning. I'm just gonna blame it on Mercury retrograde. For some reason, I don't know why my YouTube started a live that I actually didn't start. So that was, I don't know. Anyway, we in here. How everybody doing? It is officially hump day. All right, so let's start it off with the quote of the day. This one we got from Wall Street Trapper, and in his weekly post. The process to accomplishing the goal is bigger than the actual goal. All right, so that one coming to you from Wall Street Trapper. And when we're trying to accomplish our goals, our big picture, we're looking at a big picture, whatever our goal is, but all the gems and everything, the biggest part of along the process of accomplishing your goal is your goal, right? Or is accomplishing the goal. All right, so that is the quote of the day. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Let me update this, make sure this is fresh. All right, so on the calendar we got on. I can't talk this morning. On the calendar this morning we have crude oil inventories at 10:30. That's all we have today. Tomorrow we got the GDP and initial jobless claims and pending home sales. And Friday, as of right now, we don't have anything scheduled. All right. Of course, we also have to keep in mind that we're coming up to the election, so that could cause some a little bit of unexpected volatility to come in. All right, so looking at the power range report for today. All right, so the NQ future sessions power range, we had a high of 11,560.75 with a low of 11,507. At the time of this posting, we were trading bearish, down negative 1.18% with 90K of volume and 257.04 ATR. Let's go ahead and look at the chart. You can see at the open, had a little bit of sell-off, some retracements back to the open, and we've been selling off ever since. So the bears are still enjoying this market. Let me go ahead and look at still got a little support. A little bit of support right there at 260. That is a key pivot point area. That's where I'll be looking today. Is like a bottom, or it's a, if I get a trade short I'll be, keeping an eye on that level. As we trade lower, I'll be keeping an eye on that level. Let's see, 260. Now, overall, we're not in the bearish market yet. Kind of, trading sideways ever since September. Definitely the possibility to bounce and get another, climb back to the highs. All things are possible. We can, just, anything can cause the market to tank and just we have a strong sell off. So, we got to be prepared, see the market in both directions, and be prepared for whatever scenario takes place. All right, let me go ahead and get some music going. A few minutes to the bell. Come on now. Pre-market snapshot. This week I got to work on bringing some of my other music over. I'm tired of listening to the same things every stream. I love my music, of course, but I like to hear a little something different. less than a minute. Those bulls coming in right now are expected since we had all that sell off overnight. And into the pre-market. Got momentum to keep going short. That happened too quickly for me to take advantage of it. Let's see. If we get a pullback.
Order submitted.
Right here. So right now I'm looking for a pullback to go short. Really wanted to take it at the break right there at 375, but it happened too quickly. And of course I could have hit the order later or at a lower price, but that ain't what I wanted to do. Now, that's interesting. It's like we may have. Yesterday was, difficult to trade. We had like a little battle in the morning session, what I call a war zone or a battle zone. Actually, the way that it turned out yesterday, I would call that a war zone because it was, an extreme chop in this tight range, and it looks like right now we're kind of starting to form the same way. Or they could be setting it up for us to think that, and then completely take advantage of that. Definitely expect some buyers to come in. Well, we did see some buying happen right here. Those previous two 3-minute candles. So it is very safe to say that we should get some pullback here and a possible range, possible battle zone in the near future. Yesterday I set that one out. I just watched it and took some notes. Today I'm more likely to trade it. but the sellers are strong enough to keep pushing this down. It can drop hard. You gotta imagine if we had some, you know, these buyers here. They either, they're gonna bail out down here, or they're gonna try to keep accumulating. But there are some, with there being some stops down here, there's a good possibility that we can fall hard if we break the level that I say, by 342. Again, that's not part of my strategy, so I'm gonna have to wait. And this price action is wild. Like, I've never seen it where we have this type of price action consistently. Like, I remember I was specifically, like, this is like more than a year ago, I was specifically, studying the charts for this type of price action to see how consistent it is. And it would happen like maybe like once a month, maybe like for at most 3 consecutive days. But we would usually have this kind of price action where everything is choppy and we have this wild volatility, and then it will come down for a day or two or a few days, maybe a couple weeks, and then we'll have some more. But this pretty much for the majority of this year, it's been consistent like this. There have been normal trading days, of course, but this year is definitely unlike any other. And it's, as traders, we need to recognize that, especially investors or people that are just not getting into the market. I see it a lot with long-term investors. Let me put it this way: new investors that are actually investing with trading strategies, they are getting caught up in the volatility that's happening this year, and they're thinking that it's normal, but they're getting caught in a lot of bad in a lot of bad trades that should be investments. Because if you're investing and your goal really should be to hold it for at least 5 years, I think that's common knowledge at this point. So, like, what's going on right now, if you just bought a stock this year and you're investing in that company, then what's going on right now shouldn't even matter, because you should have bought that stock based on the stability of the company, and the CEOs and all that good stuff. So it's kind of just interesting to see how you have these market participants that are claiming that they're investing in stocks, but really what they're doing is trading. And with all the information that's out there, it's almost too much information. That's probably why you get all the confusion. There's no real, there's no reason that people shouldn't know this. I like the difference between trading and investing. But what's getting sold throughout the whole market is trading. That's all your little YouTube ads and Facebook ads. It's all about trading for the most part. So I mean, I kind of understand it from that perspective. But if you get into anything, really, you need to continue to study and learn as much about it as you can, so that you're not out just participating in something blind. It's like you don't say you want to be a doctor and then go watch a YouTube video or read one health book and then apply to a hospital to perform open heart surgery on someone. That's kind of like what we're doing, what you see a lot of new investors doing in the stock market. They pick up one little piece of information and they just run with it, and they don't continue to educate themselves and grow. Anyway, enough of that little rant. While I'm waiting for the market to come down and show me a little something. I'm gonna move my first order down. I have to remember the pivot area I said I'm going to keep an eye on in the pre-market, which is 260. It's going to draw a line at 270 at the warning. Tempted to take that, but I feel like it's chasing from me. trading lower, but it's not pretty at all. So it's not giving me, the kind of signal that I want to be able to get in. Of course, in hindsight, we can see like different areas that we can see different things that we could have done, but it's not based on anything that I have set up as a signal. And then I like the size of this candle here, this 3-minute candle, but again, that's, for me, that would be chasing. Which is another thing that many traders struggle with, right? Is that patience. One thing that I struggle with for a long time. I'm not going to speak in absolutes and say that, all traders struggle with patience in the beginning, because I do know some traders that patience wasn't really a thing. It was other things that, they had to overcome. One thing that the market taught me about myself, that, I've always considered myself to be a patient person, but obviously I had some more growth in that area. We all know the market will do a great job at teaching you some things about yourself. We have a fib level sitting right here at that 260 area, and we are seeing a little bit of buying trying to coming in. 266 and a quarter. Doesn't look to be quite done yet. I haven't even had I can do. I haven't even really had anything to screenshot this morning. I do have a hindsight capital. Hindsight capital note added into the journal. Now, me personally, I would want more of a pullback than that. But it doesn't have to. In terms of volume, we have a lot of empty space. Which could mean, if we trade into that range, then we could pull back a lot, or we could not trade back into that range. We could trade sideways for a while. from my perspective. I'm still looking at that 260, 270, 260 range. couple hindsight capitals. I could have used the volume profile to take a short at 301, but it's sort of for a scalp to that 260 area. Did we get down there? Yeah, and we bounced right off 260. Of course, in hindsight, if I was for trading against the momentum, I could have had an order sitting down there at 260, or I wouldn't have had it at 260. I would have had it like 263. But I wouldn't, I would have been out quickly if we would have broke that level and closed below that level. But with this, with it. The volume, well, not the volume, with the price trading down so hard, at some point you do have to expect it to bounce. It's either going to pull back or it's going to trade sideways. That makes me think about adding or adjusting my plan or my strategy to where so like this candle that earlier I said I don't want to chase on it at 948. I do see a way I could have traded it even if we got a pullback. That's not currently part of my plan. However, it wouldn't have been, with the price structure and the price action, it wouldn't have been a bad trade as long as it was part of my plan. So me taking it right there would have been bad no matter what, because that's not part of my plan. So I don't want to make a habit of trading outside of what my plan is. But that's something that I can, I got it journaled down, so that's something that I can look at, making an adjustment in the future after, I study it and everything. Because my game is to get the best price, not necessarily to make the most trades. So for me, just looking at it, kind of to counter that thought that I had, about maybe making an adjustment to the plan. For me, technically, that's still not the best price. And I don't have to take it because the market's gonna stay open. That's one thing that we can definitely depend on. It's been like the most dependable thing this year, that the market will be open. The way that it's trading, not necessarily completely dependable, but we can definitely depend on it being open the next day. And like I always say, if it doesn't open, if there's come a time where the market isn't open and we're not allowed to trade, then we got bigger problems than a trading plan or a trading strategy, or what our P&L looks like. People calling me during my stream. Looks like a trap to me. See if they can hold below 260. retest. So I think it's safe to say that I'm not gonna get a trade today because it's not doing what I wanted to do. Stubborn NQ, which makes sense why it resonates with my personality. I've been told that I'm stubborn in the past, so it makes sense.
Order canceled.
Right now we're holding that level. Just gonna watch it and see what happens. So looking at the daily and the 4-hour chart, we do have we are seeing a lot of reasons to continue trading lower. Have a couple of pivots to trade into. Not expecting it just to be a sky is falling type of situation, but you could also have something like we had back in September. Pretty much teased a bear market and then decided to trade higher towards the end of September. Which would make for a very interesting pattern on the daily chart. But red is definitely the dominant color on the 4-hour chart. And then depending on the perspective, it's not, you see there's a lot of red days, but they're not that strong except for today. Definitely be interesting to see how we trade leading up to the election and and throughout the rest of the year. With all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I think I could have traded today better. I was just a little slow on the trigger for where I would have liked to get in, and I hesitated on. Well, one I didn't. I could have taken that one. Of course, in hindsight, it looks so much better than it did when it happened. But it is what it is. More lessons, to add to my toolbox. And I hope you guys, have a good rest of your day. Appreciate y'all for coming and hanging out with me, trading with me. And I will see you on the next one. Trade it easy.